Hello, and welcome to another episode of Art Snacks. Today we're going to draw a caterpillar, and it's going to be the larva of a monarch. Okay, so we're going to start, let's start right up in here. And we're just going to kind of draw a squishy little outline. It's going to come down, sort of around, like that. On this side, make it kind of bumpy. Some little bumps like this. Now, if this is an insect, why doesn't it look like an insect? I mean, it looks kind of like a worm. Doesn't an insect have a hard exoskeleton and 6 legs? I mean, how can this be an insect? Anybody have any ideas about that? How can this be an insect if it doesn't look like an insect? What do you think? Anybody? Well, see, some creatures, they don't live their whole life looking the same way. They change from looking one way to looking another way, and actually being one way and then being another way. They change from one state of being to another, and that's called something. It's called something. It starts with an M, and it's a long word. I don't know how many syllables that is. Metamorphosis. Okay, so this creature, in this part of its life, is in the larval state. It is a worm when it first hatches, and it's not yet what it's going to be. And if it's going to be a monarch, what is it going to become when it emerges eventually from its chrysalis, or some would call a cocoon? What is it when it comes out? Do you know? And we said monarch, so it must be a kind of what? What do you think? Now this is black and white, but actually if this was colored, you'd see yellow, you'd see some color here in these bands. But for now we're just kind of making lines. It's going to be a butterfly. Sometimes I call them flutterbys because they flutter by. But a butterfly, a monarch. And I want you to look up monarchs. They're different than just, they're not just like every other kind of butterfly. There's some things about monarchs that are kind of unique. I want you to look at the lifespan of a monarch and tell me how long do they live compared to, let's say, a tiger swallowtail. A tiger swallowtail. How long do they live? So I want you to think about that and look that up and see what you can find out. So this particular monarch insect, this monarch caterpillar, is attached itself to this branch. So it's probably about to go into a chrysalis and emerge as the butterfly that it was meant to be. So what we've got drawn here is like some branches and leaves, the underside. Now if I really want this to stand out, let's say I really want it to stand out. I really want it to stand out. No, let's not just say it. Let's actually make it stand out. So what we're going to do is make the background leaf dark. See how that's dark? And it creates something that starts with a C. Creates contrast with the caterpillar. Now see how it was dark over here and got lighter? Why do you think I did that? What was I trying to make sure you could still see? This black thing right here. I wanted to make sure that didn't disappear. This is a little trick that I use. Okay, so this is this is a monarch. So let's do that. Let's go spell that out. Monarch. And it is in the life stage, or the part of its metamorphosis where it is still a caterpillar. And let's see if I can spell. I'll probably spell that wrong, but I'll see. Monarch caterpillar. Okay? We'll see you next time.